Welcome to ATR 792B Professional Standards and Athletic Training 2. My name is Dr. Jim Ave, and I am the professor for our class. This presentation will just be a quick overview of our course and hit the highlights of this class. This class is a continuation of our ATR 792A class that you did last semester, so no real big changes, but I'll go briefly over the expectations for this class. Start this class with our Bible verse. You find this on top of the first page of the syllabus. This is written from Paul in the book of Philippians, or the letter to the Philippian church. He wrote, "And I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ." I picked this verse for this class because we're continuing this work that you started in ATR 792A, and I'm hoping that you will bring it to completion. That's not the context of that verse. Paul is talking about God is able to finish the work that he started in us when a person becomes a believer in Christ. He's going to bring us to completion at the day of Jesus Christ, which means when Jesus returns, sets up his kingdom, his eternal kingdom, and then we'll have our complete salvation. And he's able to do that because he is the God of gods and the Lord of lords, and he's able to do all things. So our course description: the student assembles a portfolio to demonstrate competency in the following Board of Certification Standards of Professional Practice Standards 4 to 7, and Code of Professional Responsibility 4 to 6. So what are those? So our practice standards that we're going to cover this semester are standard 4, 5, 6, and 7, as you can see on the screen. Standard 4 is examination, assessment, and diagnosis. 5 is therapeutic intervention. 6 is program discontinuation, which means when do we know we need to stop doing treatment, rehab, and all those type of things. And standard 7, organization and administration. Then our Code of Professional Responsibility 4 through 6. Code 4 is research. Now, a little clue on this. I think almost everybody in this class has completed the research methods class. So that's your artifact, your final paper, and your research methods class would be a good artifact for Code 4. Social responsibility is how are you using your athletic training skills and ability out in the community. And Code 6, business practices, how are you being ethical in the way that you work at your job. So just a little bit before I go on to the next slide, you will continue developing your professional portfolio that you started in the ATR 792A class. You will include all the work from last semester and just continue to build on that portfolio. In the course documents, I have provided the template for the ATR 792B class. So you'll see that you should include your parts 1 through 3 from last semester, and then start with part 4 with going over practice standard 4 and code 4. You also notice in the 5th part of the portfolio due in about a month, due in about 2 months, you will cover 2 practice standards and 1 code. And then in your final professional portfolio, you'll do practice standard 7 and code 6. That'll take you to about 3/4 of the way of the course. And then you have one more assignment, which is the final professional portfolio reflection assignment. I'll have another another presentation to go over this particular assignment. There's another template for you to use in this. This is due at the end of the semester. In this assignment, what you're going to do is demonstrate how you have developed over these 2 semesters that you've been in this class, and then how you can be an advocate for athletic training, be a responsive and reflective practitioner. You also will develop a professional development plan. How can you continue to grow in these areas that we've gone over for the last 2 semesters over the next 3 to 5 years? And you'll have your final good to great in God's eyes reflection. Speaking of good to great in God's eyes, that's our devotional for this class, good to great in God's eyes. We're going to follow the same format like we did in the last semester with the courage and calling reflections and threaded discussions. You'll have assigned chapters to read. You'll post your reflections in the forum, turn them in various different assignments. You'll post questions that you had about the readings, and then you'll read and respond to other students' posts, just like we did in the Courage and College reflection. This book is a lot more practical. I'm not saying that Courage and Calling wasn't practical, it was more philosophical. This book, The Good to Great in God's Eyes, has 10 different steps. I don't like to use the word steps, but different things you can do to grow in your walk with God. And so they're very practical things that you can apply in your life. So that's pretty much all our assignments. We got progress reports like we've done in the last class. So again, this is just a continuation of our practice standards course. If you have questions, as always, during the class, use the Q&A forum in class. I have my contact information on the syllabus. I'm here to help. As always, I think at this point, again, we don't have any rough drafts because you've been doing this all last semester. You should know how to do your professional portfolios. If you want me to review it, I'm happy to review the material for you. Just send it to me as an email attachment. Give me enough time to do those things. All right. Look forward to learning more about you and your practice of athletic training during our time together.